going to be a real talk video. So basically, I had a lot of stuff going down lately, arguably a long time, with the way things were being dealt online. So to all of you out there who are wondering or asking what happened to my Twitter and Instagram, I deactivated them. I need to just take a step back, regroup, reassess how I approach things, because some stuff was just getting out of hand, and I need to establish some boundaries and some rules, and that's what this video is going to be, is establishing those boundaries and rules. I'm doing it as a video because I was having to write individuals, that were setting me off, and I'm kind of done with that. It's a big drain on my time, and obviously if I'm having to do that for more than one person, then I probably should make a video for everybody to be able to reference, because things obviously are not clear, and I need to make them clear. So that's the point of this video. It's going to be a long video, but I think it's to your benefit to listen to what I have to say, because I'm going to cover a lot of ground, and it's over a lot of stuff that I've either encountered firsthand or things were leading that way, and I don't want them to get there. So it's to your benefit to listen if you want to continue to follow me, because this will apply to you. I have decided that I'm going to be stricter with rules, and I'm going to enforce them, and I'm not going to show mercy to anyone, especially friends, because they, especially in my opinion, should know better, and they're actually the main triggers. So that doesn't count for everybody, but there have been a few people who have taken things too seriously, too personally, and that's not what any of this is supposed to be. So let me start off by saying what all of my social media outlets were meant to be. YouTube was a creative outlet. So the purpose of it is for me to express myself in whatever damn way that I felt like doing at the time. And I put it out there as an archive for anybody who comes along, and for whatever it's worth to them, they can enjoy it. And that's really all it is. My Twitch was meant as a training grounds for me, so I'm not one of those people who's naturally comfortable in front of an audience, and I wanted to develop that skill. It's not the same, obviously, as speaking in front of a bunch of people who are looking right at you, but it's similar enough that I thought I could benefit from it. So it was training, it was meant as a entertainment thing, a creative outlet too. It was a hobby that I enjoyed, and I wanted to try it out. And there was always the potential that it could become a job, and it was what it was. I was trying it out, and it was meant to be enjoyed. It wasn't meant to be an obligation or an expectation. But what was happening was that some people were turning it into a friends thing. So they were putting expectations, or at least I felt pressured into certain things that it was never meant to be. For those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that I started with Let's Play videos. So they were offline, they weren't live. I wanted to try doing live. I wanted to challenge myself. So I did that. And I didn't have a big following or a lot of online friends, but they started coming to the streams, and so it started becoming like a friend's playground. It wasn't meant to be that. So with that, there were certain expectations that I felt being thrown at me. Like, for instance, there were some people who were getting butthurt over the fact that I didn't invite them to some of the gaming sessions. I started multiplayer gaming, and I decided to stream it just because, and it was like, why didn't you invite me? Well, I didn't think I needed to. I do things when I want to do them, and I do them the way that I want to do them, and I don't worry about other people. You know, people that were there, they invited me, and I decided I wanted to stream. That's all it is. And honestly, in my opinion, streaming it was inviting people, because anybody can join. Anybody who's not banned can join. So you could become involved. Even if you're not sitting there playing with me, you could still become involved. In fact, that is one of the reasons I did it, because one of the friends didn't even have a PS4. So I was like, okay, well, let's stream it, so whoever else is out there that are available, they can come and watch and chat with us if they want to. It didn't turn out to be that way. It was like, oh, why didn't you invite me? And that turned into a very passive-aggressive situation where these people were acting out at me and, sniping at me and doing things to make me feel guilty and try to manipulate me into, making up for it. And I do not take bait like that. I see it as bullying. I see it as manipulation. And I'm not gonna bite. I do not appreciate that kind of behavior, especially passive-aggressive behavior. I think it's extremely childish, and it's like bullying to me. So I'm not going to sit there and apologize for not actually inviting every single friend that I have. That's an unrealistic expectation. We all have different schedules, we all have different interests, different likes. We behave differently, we have fun differently, we joke differently. We're just different, and not every situation is going to apply to everybody. And I'm not going to apologize for that. If you think of things as a group of everybody having to be involved for everything, that's the way you operate. It's not the way I operate. Like, I am not going to worry about that stuff with streaming and stuff online. I didn't sign up for that, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cow to that. It's just the way it is. So as you can see, I rewrote my Twitch rules, and I added in, if you join and you see that I'm playing a multiplayer game, don't ask to play too, and don't expect to be invited, because I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to place that obligation on myself. I will invite who I want to invite. I will play with who I want to play with whenever I want to, and I'm not going to worry about other people feeling left out, because I wouldn't do that to other people. I wouldn't place that expectation on them. If they didn't invite me or they didn't want me there, that's their prerogative, and I'll feel bummed out if I want to, but I'm not going to sit there and snipe at them. If I have that much of an issue, I'm going to take it to them directly, and I'm going to say so. But in my case, like I said, I'm not going to apologize for not inviting everybody, because that's an unreasonable expectation. So that is now a rule, and it will be enforced. If I see people sitting there being passive-aggressive that they weren't invited, then I'm either going to warn them and try to nip it in the bud, or block them, because I don't need that in my life. I don't, it's childish. A 7-year-old would do that, not an adult, not somebody who's older than me. My advice is to be an adult about it, and if you can't handle that, then it's not meant to be. If you're going to dictate to me what a friend should do, then I'm going to dictate what I think a friend should do, and I don't think a friend should bully other people into doing what they want. I wouldn't do that to other people, so I will not tolerate that either. I want to clarify that friends are still welcome on my streams and everywhere else that I have, stuff that I'm putting out. They're welcome there, and I enjoy y'all's company. I do. It really makes it a lot more fun. I have no problem with that. What the whole issue is the expectations that I feel are being placed on me because of it. And it doesn't go for everybody. There's some of you guys are very respectful, and you're very chill and easygoing, so there's none of that kind of issues. But some of you are take things too personally and take things too seriously, and that's where the issues are coming from. So I want a release of that, and that's why I'm putting this out in the open, because I needed to set those boundaries, because it was just getting to be a little too frustrating for me. Like I said, there were some people out there who were acting out and making me feel like even once we discussed it, it was like they were still throwing darts about it, and that just needs to end. That was really getting under my skin. I don't want that anymore. I don't want to see that anymore, because that's not what this is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be riddled with expectations about me as a friend, that's not what it's supposed to be. It's just a hobby, and you can't sit there and say that every time that I'm here at home playing video games that I'm leaving you out of something, that's my hobby, and I can do it whenever I want. And it's the same with streaming and gaming online. I do that when I want and with who I want, and I'm not going to sit there worrying about who I'm inviting, who I'm leaving out. Streaming is actually an invitation to everybody, because it's open there, out in the open, so everybody can join in and be involved. If you're talking in the chat, you're involved. Yeah, you're not sitting there actually on the game server playing with me, but you're still involved because you're in the chat. And I just do not, I'm not superhuman. I can't pay attention to everybody. It's an unrealistic expectation, and I'm not going to try to do that. So if you feel left out, that's your issue. I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to try to fix it. It's not my responsibility. Okay? This is not a friend's thing. I'm not sitting here inviting you to a party at my house and trying to cater to every individual. That's not what this is, and that's what I needed to put out there, that this is what it is, and I do not want or need any of the extra expectations. So treat it like it is, and that is that. It's as simple as that. Another thing that I did encounter as well, at least towards the beginning, is that for a while I was having to sit there and worry about other people streaming, or whether they were all going to be available or not, and it was not working out, because I have a small window when I'm available to do it, and it wasn't matching up with everybody else. So that was another thing that I never signed up for. I wasn't supposed to be having to work around other people. I was supposed to be able to do it when I wanted to do it. And even though I was trying, nobody else seemed to give a shit about that. So yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to stream when I want to. It's going to be on my time. If people are available, they're available. If not, they're not. Easy, done. Another issue that I had that I want to put out there is I do not appreciate the Yappy Dog mentality. So let me explain what that is. If I'm doing a stream or anywhere that I'm out there on the internet, somebody comes along and starts gushing about me, oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, you're so attractive, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody else comes and yap, 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 yap at the person. Like one of those yappy dogs that chases everybody away because they think they're a threat. What is my problem with that? Well, the whole thing with sexual harassment is that I'm the one who's supposed to be establishing my boundaries and what I do or don't like. That is my right. So nobody else can tell me what my boundaries are. That is the whole issue with sexual harassment, is that somebody else is defining my parameters. So basically, when somebody else sits there and chases off my viewers and my subscribers and all that stuff because they think they're protecting me, it really pisses me off. Because first of all, viewers are not easy to come by. So you're not really doing me a favor just instantly going off on somebody. Secondly, you're not my moderator. I did not make you a moderator, so that's not your job or your privilege. And thirdly, I establish my parameters. I do not have a problem with people saying that I'm pretty or beautiful or attractive. What becomes a problem is when someone starts actually being really forward with me and actually trying to get somewhere with me, or they just say really nasty stuff. And if I have to explain to you what nasty is, then you probably wouldn't get it. So basically, I'm the one who decides who goes and who stays, and I will take care of it. I do not need you sitting there being the yappy dog. If people are coming to my house and I'm letting them in, then you don't need to be a guard dog. I will do that. I will take care of that. You know, if I decide this person does not belong here, then you can go off on them too. You know, that's fine. But let me take care of it. Let me handle it up until that point. That's what I'm asking, because it is really annoying when people sit there and chase off people that didn't piss me off. Okay? There are some people that can say virtually anything and it will set me off because that's just the kind of person they are. So I get it. If, you know, someone says something that is, the comment itself is innocuous, but they're just really annoying, so it pisses you off. I get that. I'm the same way. I can be the same way. But let me decide my parameters, okay? For the most part, if someone's not saying anything really overtly sexual in nature, I may ignore it, I may not appreciate it, but I'm not going to go off on them, okay? I will decide when and where that is appropriate, not you, okay? Got it? Easy, done. If you look, I actually sat down and took probably about an hour to rewrite my Twitch rules. So I've added a lot of stuff that is based on experience now, and they will be enforced from now on. As you see, you'll see I added a thing about staying on topic to the rules because at least for a while, I was having the issue of everybody having their own conversations about nothing relevant to what my stream was about. And it was very annoying. It was like they were just treating it as a regular chat room, and I don't appreciate that. Like, take it somewhere else. I also, well, it's been in there for a while, but the rule about not talking about too personal stuff is there too, because I had people treating it like a therapy session and just sharing way too much personal stuff and bringing the mood down. And again, I really don't appreciate that. I am here to have fun and to entertain and, you know, whatever. I'm not here to listen to your problems. I'm not here to fix your problems or give you advice or anything like that, and I'm not here to listen. This is about entertainment. This is about my hobbies. It's not about your life. If anybody's offended or hurt by the rules that I have, than be hurt or offended, because I've got to do what I've got to do. I've got to protect myself from toxic people, from things getting out of hand. And, you know, if you can't understand that, then there are plenty of other people out there, thousands, that you can watch instead. The rules will be enforced, and I'm not going to show mercy, especially not to friends, because they especially, in my opinion, should know better. And I did add on the bottom that just because you feel like I'm not following my own rules does not give you free rein to throw them out, because again, it's my channel, it's my stream, it's my hobby. Take it or leave it. It's not necessarily something that has actually come up to the point where, you know, anyone's come out and said it or acted out on it, but I do want to make it explicit that just because, you know, I enjoy streaming does not mean that I enjoy watching streams. To me, usually it's a waste of time. There are some people that, you know, I'll pop in and enjoy, you know, hanging out for a little bit, but do not place that expectation on me, because I just don't have time for that, and it's not something that interests me. So if you are coming and watching my streams expecting me to be interested in yours, it's not going to happen. You know, I will do what I want to do. I will live my life the way I want to live it. If I'm interested in your stuff, I will go myself. Don't sit there and promote your stuff or other people's stuff, or just have that unspoken expectation. It's not going to happen. To those people out there who I have gone to their streams before, if I go, it's because I want to be there. To anybody out there who thinks that I am the type of person who is going to do I scratch your back, you scratch mine, that is a complete fallacy. I have never succumbed to sub for sub, you know, comment for comment, like for like, stream for stream. That is not my thing. I do not do that. I do not take part in that. So if you are coming to my stream or to my channel or anything with those kind of strings attached, take it elsewhere, because you are not entering into some unwritten contract that I have to give back to you. What I want here is for people who are here to actually want to see my stuff, to actually enjoy my content, not trying to manipulate me into giving something back. That is something you've told yourself in your head, and you need to let that go, because it's not going to happen. And so if you are approaching me with some unwritten obligation, you're going to be disappointed, because that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm offering. What I'm offering is the content that you see. That is what I'm giving to you, nothing else. So the only guarantee, the only promise I will make is that I am going to put out the content that I want. I'm going to put out the content when I want. And that's that. That's what I have to offer you, nothing else. So don't sit there and try to accuse me of not following through with an agreement that I never made. You made up that expectation. That is on you, not on me, because I have not agreed to anything more than that. And that's actually a life lesson that I think everybody should learn. Do not give with strings attached. You will be disappointed. Maybe you managed to get through a good chunk of your life, you know, because you've been interacting with people who place that kind of obligation on themselves and feel guilted into it. But eventually you're going to come across a person who's strong enough and independent enough to not cow to that sort of thing. So, life lesson, do not give with strings attached. When you give something to somebody, it should be genuine. I'm also going to put out there, and I do not know if if it'll be seen or not by anybody I know in real life. This is not aimed at anyone because nobody's tried to do this, but just in case, for future reference, if I ever have someone over while I'm streaming, or I'm streaming and a friend I know in real life pops in the chat, the same rules apply to you as to anybody else. Don't ask to come over and join the stream. I'm streaming because I want to do that, and if I wanted to invite you, I will. It might sound mean or unfair, but it has to be that way because it will get uncomfortable for me very fast. I don't need that. So if follow the rules that are there. If I want to invite you, I will. If I see you in the chat and I think it's a good idea to have you over, I will ask you, in private. But please do not ask or expect that, because, like I said, I do what I want to do when I want to do it, and that's kind of the end of it. For a while, I was actually considering or looking at it as a job as well. So, you wouldn't sit there and ask to come to work with me. So, don't do it here, please. It's business. It's not a friends thing. So don't turn it into that. And if you do, there will be problems. Fair warning. So follow the rules and you will be cool. I also want to put out as fair warning that what happens with my Instagram and my Twitter, it's fair game for YouTube and Twitch as well. So when I start streaming again, chances are that I'm not going to be interacting with the chat for a while, because I'm really just fed up with people, and so I'm probably going to go back to the style that I did when I was doing the Let's Plays offline. And I'll do that for as long as I feel like I need to. And the same with YouTube. At the time of filming this, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to have comments enabled. But if they are enabled, just keep in mind that if I see the passive-aggressive stuff or the just toxic behavior, I'm going to disable them, and you're not going to be able to interact anymore. That's the way it is. If you want to be offended, be offended. If you want to be hurt, be hurt. That's your prerogative. But this is my channel. These are my streams. This is my hobby. I'm not going to babysit other people's feelings or cater to you. This is my thing, and nobody's going to dictate what I do or don't do. Except for, obviously whatever guidelines that are set out by YouTube and Twitch, I'll follow those. But everything else is fair game, and I'm not going to sit here and cater to other people. My Twitter and my Instagram I deactivated because, again, it was becoming something that it was never meant to be. In my opinion, Twitter and Instagram are another outlet for, expressing yourself. Either posting pictures, making jokes, whatever. I post them out in the open, and that's the way I intend them to be. What was happening was that people were trying to make everything into a private message, a DM. So I would post something and they would respond in a DM. And that's not what it's meant to be for me. I know those options are there with good reason, I'm sure, but I post things out in the open because that's where I want them to stay. So for all these people that were trying to make this a private conversation between you and me, slipping into my DMs, I didn't appreciate that, because I don't have time to respond to those kind of things, and I don't want to respond to those kind of things, you know? I also had people, you know, using DMs as a way of bringing my attention on them and their things. So it would be like, I'd post something, and then it's like, hey, well, look at my thing. The whole thing with Twitter and Instagram is there so you can follow what you want to follow. So if you're interested in my stuff, you want to look at what I'm posting and you want to respond to it, do it there, out in the open. And if I'm interested in your stuff and what you have to say, I will go to your page. You know, if you could even tag me in something, but don't make it into a private message and force that stuff on me. Like, I don't appreciate it. Isn't Twitter and Instagram attention seeking enough, but you also have to DM me too? Like, we're there to post and just leave it at that. That's enough, you know, it's enough. If and when I decide to enable my Instagram and Twitter again, things are going to be different. I more than likely am not going to, if I can disable DMs, I'm more than likely going to, and if not, I'm just going to actively avoid reading and answering them, because it's not supposed to be a tete-a-tete, you know. I am not there to have secret conversations with people. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm not interested in that, you know. This doesn't count for the in real life friends who, you know, instead of texting me, they Instagram me, you know. That's fine, but more than likely I'm gonna just text you instead, because I don't need to have all these platforms to be jumping back and forth between anyway. I'm too old for that. So, you know, DMs are probably going to be cut out, except for, you know, extenuating situations. For those of you who are thinking, well, Naomi, what about the times that it's a sensitive topic and I need to ask you something in private? Well, take a look at my stuff again. Do I ever post stuff that is of a sensitive or private nature? No, I don't. If I post it out there, it's public. So it should say that way. You don't need to be all secretive and sensitive about it. If you have to sit there and wonder, is this like too sensitive to ask, then you probably shouldn't be asking it. It's that simple. So do yourself a favor, and when in doubt, don't. And if you absolutely need to ask me, then do it in public. Don't slide into my DMs. Don't do it. I don't want to have to do this, but I think I should. So I wanted to put it out there that, as counterintuitive as it might seem, because I put myself out on the internet, I'm actually a very private person. What you see online is a very, very small percentage of who I am, and I do not like to share a lot of personal stuff. That's not all-inclusive. Obviously, I share some stuff online. You'll see that. And I share stuff with friends here online. But that's as far as it goes. If I do not share more than that, I probably don't want to share more than that. And I was getting people asking me a lot of personal stuff and kind of treating me as a closer friend than I was. You know, in their minds, they were really close to me, but I didn't feel comfortable sharing a lot of the stuff that they thought I was. You know, it's a common mistake that people make, because I actually do not share personal stuff with even the closest of my friends. Like, if I have a grievance, I will take it to the person that I think can handle it. You know, that's the way I do things. And I've done that a few few times with some people that I know online. They've been awesome friends. But I took it to them. They didn't sit there needling me about stuff. In fact, the reason that I took things to them is because they were respectful people. People who sit there and nose into my business, I don't trust them. They get shoved further and further out the more they try to get to know me. It's the way I am. So I'm putting this out there that there's a lot of stuff I don't like to share. So if you're sitting there trying to get stuff out of me, especially in a DM or, privately, it's not going to happen. And, I am comfortable, if we're all streaming online, to say I'm not comfortable sharing that. So don't be surprised if that happens. I'm like the stray cats that you see running out in the fields, and you really want to go over there and pet me and feed me and all this stuff. You try to do that, you try to force it, that little shit's gonna run off. That's the way it is. That's the way I am with people. Like, if you force it, I'm out of here. So just keep that in mind. And I'm only putting this out there for your benefit because, like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm not clear about my boundaries, but I'm setting them out clear as day for you right now. If I want you in my personal life and my personal affairs, I will invite you into it. And it's like a one-time password thing too. Like, I will do that then. For whatever situation or subject it is, I will give you the password for it. You can enter then, but after that situation and stuff is over, you're locked out again. Like, I'm going to have to give you another one-time password to enter, so don't needle me. I don't like being needled. The way I am. So if you want to stay in good standings, there is your ticket. Be respectful. Don't nose your way into things. You are only as close as I allow you to be. With that said, all of that said, because it's a lot, and I didn't want it to be, but it is, I do hope to see you guys there. I enjoy your company. I appreciate, the fun and the entertainment that you guys bring me too. Like, I love it. I like interacting, or I did like interacting with the chat and, having fun online. It was great. So I want to keep that. I want to go back to what it was, an innocent, fun hobby with no strings attached. Let's make it that again, if we can. If not, I'm sorry to lose you, but the people who are going to stay need to want to be here, no strings attached. So those of you who are willing to do it that way, let's have fun. Let's get on with this, and I will see you around.